Coming to you live from the Hellmouth Adjacent. It's the Popular Cinema Podcast. I'm your co-host Payne,
And I'm Bill.
and welcome to episode 78.
78.
Que pasa, senor?
Que pasa? What's up?
Well, I think I'm going to have you bring your A game for this show
Why?
be-
Why?
because Chris and I were babysitting grandchildren last night, and what I've determined is the baby is like a human Ferg. So instead of a whole bunch of barking, there's just a whole bunch of screaming.
Isn't this the first time that this has happened with the screaming? Because you've babysat before for this child, correct?
No, I think the kid's a screamer. The
Oh.
kid's a screamer. And so
Oh.
she's training everybody like Ferg has trained me to hand feed him that she wants to be held. They're like two Fergs. That's what it's like having two Fergs. One's just human.
I thought this baby was a dude. It's not a dude?
No, it's got a dude haircut.
Oh, okay. Well,
What
we're
you
in
what you
the...
have is you have two competing grandmothers. You have one grandmother that's like, whatever culturally apparently wants to shave the head, give it like a fade cut, like a high top fade.
A high top fade. Isn't that like fresh off the boat in the 80s?
Well, I don't think that's what she's calling it, but that's what the haircut looks like.
Okay.
And the other grandmother is this, can't we just let the girl like grow her hair out for luxurious locks? The grandmother's like slice and dice.
Okay. All this time I thought this baby was a boy. This is a girl? How old is
The,
this
the
baby?
grandson is a boy who's 8.
Yeah, but he's like, how old?
8.
No, yeah, but the baby, how old is the baby?
I don't know, 7 months?
Oh, I thought it was a dude. Okay.
No. What's hilarious that while changing her into her reindeer pajamas, she's wearing a bracelet, and you're just kind of like you. All you have to do is just look over at the grandmother figure, and she's looking at you like, "What the hell is this? What's this baby wearing like foot jewelry for?"
Maybe it's not culturally appropriate. Do we know for sure?
Well, I you know what it is. I'm sure. I mean, didn't your mom do some stuff with you that seems kind of weird now looking back on it? But that's just the way it
I
was.
mean, I drank out of a bottle till I was 5. Maybe some people have a problem with that. But short of that, no, because I refuse to drink out of cups. I want to drink my Kool-Aid out of a bottle. I like the taste of nipples, okay?
That's just so weird.
How long did you drink out of a bottle? Do you remember? Do you know?
Listen, I don't know. I don't.
You
I
drank
know
out
it
of a
wasn't
bottle.
5. Okay, I wasn't on the teat till 5. Okay, I can let you know that.
It would explain a lot. I'm just saying.
I mean, I know
So
there's some things that my grandmother did that was kind of weird, but um,
what did she put beer in your like bottle? What?
no, she was always into giving like enemas. You
Enemas.
enemas?
Wait a minute. Enemas. I was joking. Now we got some real freaky deaky shit. What
Oh
do you mean,
yeah, yeah.
enemas.
Anything that was ever wrong with you always resulted in you being constipated. You're just like, I got a fever of 101. She's like, you're constipated. I'm like, okay, like here's an enema. I'm like, okay, wait a second, I got a sore
So let
throat.
me get this right. She would shove like one of those douche things up your butt.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. Having my mom drop me off my grandmother's was always a day of ass play.
It was like it was traumatic. You were like, oh, she's going for the ass. I know she's going for the ass play.
It's time because you're sick, and it's time for an enema.
Really? Now, see, I thought when I was making Kool-Aid Punch, I've told you this story before, right? Off air.
Go ahead. No, go
Well,
ahead.
I know I told you this story. Like my father used to be gone for like months at a time. Like he was the absentee dad, like to the extreme. And so he used to get like 6-packs. And remember how the old 6-packs of beer used to be with the pull tabs? And like they didn't just, you click them and you push them back down and they stay on the can. These were like the pull tabs that you had to pull the whole tab off and like then you could drink the beer. Well, my father was gone so much that I used to like pull the tabs off the beer cans of the 6-packs and like drink the beer and replace it with like, I mean, Kool-Aid.
Are you kidding me?
No, but like And so like he would be gone so long that I would go back and get the Kool-Aid from the beer and I would straighten the tab out and like place it back on top of the can. I was like 5 or 6. I was real devious. So I would like straighten the tab out and stick it back on the can so it didn't look like it was opened. But then he'd be gone so long that like I'd go back and it'd be like fermented Kool-Aid with the mixed with the beer in the can, and I'd just like chug it, and I'd be like drunk like a 6-year-old walking around drinking like grape Kool-Aid and beer punch. I used to call it Kool-Aid punch.
Are you? Do you know this is all sorts of wrong?
Whatever. Your grandmother's making you like all kinds of like ass play games over there. She's like, let's ride the horsey and whatever. So I don't want to hear it. I'm just saying.
I mean, I was playing with like Simon and Space Invaders, and you're over there drinking beers.
I was drinking beers like at 5 or 6, maybe 7. Yeah, but you know what I think it actually did for me? I think it actually made me like immune to like being an alkie. Cause like I don't really have like I can drink, but like I don't really ever get drunk. Like no matter how much I drink, I really don't get like drunk. I get
Were
like
you not
tipsy
there
or
for the thing
buzzy.
2017? I mean, well,
Okay, listen.
I've had enough
That was,
Chipotle parties where you've had enough drinks and then passed out on the couch.
that was because I was tired. My bedtime is early. It doesn't have anything to do with the alcohol.
So what you're saying is like you're European, huh? That you've been
Yeah,
exposed
yeah.
to alcohol at such an earlier age. It lost its luster for you in high school, so
Right.
there
It
was
kind
no
of
reason
right.
to
I
do
didn't
that.
turn into like a teenage alkie because I was like, oh, whatever. Beer. Been there, done that. I'm just saying.
No. Well,
And I
that's
didn't
what's
have any ass play, so it might pale in comparison. Just saying.
yeah. There's some other witchcraft crap that was going on like that, but it's hilarious. If some of this stuff
I know I told you this story. You've never heard this story?
Yeah, I think you did. Apparently, I think your childhood was all a part of deviancy outside of you being gay. And there's just another whole level of some other crap going on here.
I told you I used to boil shoes too, right? Like I had a
Boils?
thing for boiling shoes.
No.
Like my
Were you
father was
over
a
chef?
chef.
What do you mean
My
boiling?
father was my father was a chef, so he had like all these big giant like industrial sized kitchen pots. And I used to love to like throw like chemicals in there and like shoes and like watch them boil. Like I like I would put like mercurochrome and all kinds of like spices and stuff in the kitchen in like these big giant pots, and like then I would just throw shoes in there. I don't know why I would put the shoes, but it was like a thing, and I would just like to watch it boil with all the chemicals and stuff. It was like a mad scientist thing.
This probably explains a lot. You're not like a serial killer of sorts, but you're some sort of other type of thing going on there. I'm gonna have to look at the DSMR, whatever else it is, and find out because while people are out there like Fatal Attraction boiling rabbits, you're boiling shoes with spices, with combs. I don't know.
Yeah,
Breath.
I just threw like random household objects in pots and like watch them boil. It was kind of it was
Did you ever
kind
get into trouble?
I don't know. I might have gotten caught like once or twice, but like there was no latchkey when I was that age, and my dad was not around. My mom was at work, so I would come home and just be alone in the house to like look after my own devices. So I just got into like whatever we had in the house to like fucking be weird about.
Yeah, okay, I get that. I get that. I guess
Oh.
it's kind of like innocent considering what these kids are now doing nowadays.
Yeah, I wasn't doing like meth or like making rocks or crack or anything, but it probably wouldn't be considered like normal, I guess.
That's what we were doing. Chris and I were babysitting and dealing with stuff like that. We were contemplating to go see Creed 2. I find it interesting that we don't go to the movies often, and but apparently my woman is a fan of the Creed series. I think
Yeah,
it's
it has
because
nothing to do with Michael B. Jordan's like massive, ginormous muscles, right?
yeah,
Right.
that
Right.
Did
Yeah.
you
Let's go see Creed, babe.
Yeah,
Really?
that's exactly what it is. She put it on the calendar like on a Tuesday too. She's like, "What do you think? Just maybe
Uh-huh.
get quiet. Maybe go to dinner and then go see Creed 2. You want to see Creed
Oh,
2, right?" I'm like, "Yeah,
right.
babe,
Yeah,
you're right.
sure. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll see Creed 2."
Uh-huh.
What's
She
interesting
can't
is,
watch a scripted anything, TV, movie, radio show, whatever. But she wants to go see Creed too. Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. Okay.
remember when we saw Black Panther? It's the same thing when Michael B. Jordan came onto the screen. Remember those three ladies next to us? They were like, "Woo, ah, yeah."
No, I don't remember that.
I was kind of I was bending down, looking over to the side, like, "All right, really? You can find pictures of him on the internet. I don't know if I need to hear you fawn over him in the theater." Okay.
Plus, he had all those like scars and shit on there, so he was all like deformed and whatnot in Black Panther. I mean, you could see the muscles underneath it, but it was still like, a little weird.
So I think we'll be seeing Creed 2 of my future is my point instead of actually seeing this weekend. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
it'll probably be out for a couple weeks. I imagine. It's
oh,
still going.
I hope it's doing better than that, than more than a couple weeks.
I'm
But
sure.
anyway, so there you go. Screaming Baby, hanging out, jettisoned them around at least 10 o'clock, but then had to go to church and then come back home. Dealing with Ferg, by the way. Ferg is now on Prozac.
And how's that going?
It's only day 2.
Right, but have
Um,
you noticed any difference yet?
He's not really eating or going out to exercise as much anymore, but I'm not just sure if that's because PetSmart kind of put him in general population and he's never really recovered from that.
So
So,
you're telling me he has PTSD from Thanksgiving, which was like a week ago?
yeah, he's fragile, man. I mean, he's fragile. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Scooties didn't like run protection for him. It was out there hanging out with another gang.
Maybe they
And
had ass play with Ferg. Ferg, squish this up
they're
your
like,
ass and see how you like
listen,
that.
Ferg, we want you to join the other white dogs. And Ferg was like, no, I'm just going to hang with my brother Scooties. And Scooties has already joined up with like the Hispanics or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like the sharks versus the fins or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so how are you, my friend?
I'm fine, just chillaxing.
How was your weekend?
It was fine. I didn't really do much. I've been watching. I told you I've been watching documentaries of like comic book movies lately. So I was watching the one about Superman, Look Up in the Sky, the amazing story of Superman that's hosted by Brian Singer, ironically,
Okay.
who now probably wouldn't be able to get that job if he paid them to give him the job. But they were talking about Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, in a certain part of it. And I think I told you this before, but like I tried to watch Superman 4 like years ago and I like gave up because it looked like so horrible. And even on Blu-ray, it was like just god awful.
Okay.
So I never did watch it. Well, when they were talking about Superman 4, and I was like, I would give anything just to see Christopher Reeve play Superman like one more time. So let me give Superman 4 another try. And I've actually made it through like half the movie this time.
Superman 4, The
The Quest
Quest
for
for
Peace.
Peace,
Yeah.
where he goes against Nuclear Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Nuclear Man.
Now, I'm
Okay.
not saying I'm not saying it's the best of the Superman series. I'm not saying it's even up to snuff with the rest of it. But just to see Christopher Reeve play the part one more time, I'm willing to take a few lumps for the team. So far, I'm not like turning it off. It's about halfway through, and I'm like, yeah, it's lumpy, it's bumpy, but it's Christopher Reeve, and it's like he's kind of resurrected for a couple of hours, and I like that. So far, I'm making it through.
If you're so desperate for content, I can recommend like 20 different shows for
I
you.
don't know why you have to go there. It's Christopher Reeve, bitch.
All right. Any other good documentaries you've been watching?
Um, yeah, there's a PBS documentary called Superheroes, which is all about comic books. I've been watching some of those episodes, and Robert Kirkman did one called it's a documentary on AMC called I think it's called Comics, the Comics That Made Us. No, that's the Toys That Made Us. The Secret History of Comics is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty interesting. There's like 6 episodes. One has to do with a black comic company called like Midland Comics. Did you ever hear of this company?
Yes, I have.
Um anyway, I don't know. I'm not that's like the 5th episode, so I'm just about to start that one. So
Speaking of that, with your documentaries, I told you I was cruising through my Fire Stick because we were talking about Canopy, and I know Superfan Melissa has talked about it. We talked about it on the show.
right.
It's an app that allows you to get access to movies via the library. And I just noticed on my Fire Stick when I went to go to add apps, there are a million apps on there, Bill. Million different
On
icons.
Canopy?
What's that? No, not of
Like,
Canopy, but just of other streaming services.
oh yeah, yeah. But you know something? Here's the thing. A lot of them are crap. Like, because our Roku has them. Like, I tried to load up a bunch of like horror apps for my husband when
Yeah.
we first got the Roku,
Uh
and a
huh.
lot of them are like you have to you they give you like a sample, like a 10-minute sample of one of the movies, and then you have to subscribe to them, just like you have to do Netflix or something to get the whole thing. So you have to be
Oh.
careful about those because they look like, yeah, this is free content, this is awesome, but it's not really. Because once you load it up, it'll be like subscribe to this channel for 4.99 or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting then. Okay,
Yeah.
because I saw like three different horror apps, and I was like, "Ooh, look at all these horror apps." Anyway,
Yeah. Well, they're
with
not free.
Canopy, I put it on to my Fire Stick, and I started scrolling through all the content because what is it? What's that studio? A24.
A24,
Yeah, that's done like Moonlighting. No, was it Moonlight?
Moonlight.
And
Yeah.
I can't think of some of the other indie films on there, but they have a ton of
They're the ones that are
documentaries.
doing Rashid's movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Native Son.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to fire that one up. Well, we're gonna have to promote that a little bit since we have
Yeah.
somebody successfully doing something in the world of entertainment. But in terms of documentaries, there's a ton of documentaries on there. Um,
Yeah.
I'm just
I mean,
saying, you could.
those might be free, but you have to. It's the appearances can be deceiving with those apps. So just be careful.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see that you're furthering your education by watching documentaries. That's
Yeah,
really
it's documentaries about the same shit I'd be watching anyway, so I'm not sure how much further I'm stretching my imagination, but eh.
Actually, I did fire up a documentary, I think, over the past several days. It was called, like, I think, The Forbidden Films of the Nazi Legacy.
Really? So this is like
Yeah, it's
propaganda movies? Is that
yes, it's essentially that's what it was when, the Germans were sitting there doing their stuff and they had all these films trying to promote their things.
right?
Um, I started watching part of it and I just wanted to kind of ease into, I think it might have been like a Friday night or a Thursday night, but the issue was it was subtitled and I kind of wanted to play on my tablet a little bit, so I could only get in about 5 minutes and then I had to,
So
you know,
what? How you can't because you can't read their tablet and read the movie at the same
no,
time.
that's I had to stop the documentary because I my tablet was a bit of a more of a priority than
Okay.
watching the forbidden films. So I'm just gonna have to go back to it when I'm ready to give it my full attention.
Are you still playing? What is it? Candy Crush or
Oh, I do a
that
little bit
game?
of Candy Crush. I still do Clash Royale. Me hanging with
Clash
the other
Royale.
eight,
That's it.
yeah, with the 8-year-olds. Sure.
Okay. All right.
Superfan Carlos is still playing as well.
You don't play Fortnite?
I don't play Fortnite. I can't get into Fortnite.
Why?
One, I'm more of a single player game, Bill.
Is that like
I'm
an
not
MMA?
of a
Okay.
massive multi-online player world. I don't really
All right.
want to interact with others. I just kind of want to do this for me.
How much interaction are you doing virtually on a game anyway? But okay.
Well, there's a lot of interaction. Now then you
Yeah.
might have a quest where you have to deal with others, and then you got one guy that's over there breakdancing instead of doing the quest. I don't want to deal with the nonsense. That's why if I play a game, I'd rather play with friends I know, because I know we're all going to be on the same page, have the same agenda, and going to play it a certain way. I I don't want to play with strangers.
Okay.
Strangers are the ones that can like knock over your water glass and then just, they're not reliable. They're not
Okay.
reliable, Bill. So Fortnite, and not to mention the graphics. I'm all about the graphics. Sometimes the graphics look like ass.
Fortnite graphics are not good.
At least not that way I see it.
Okay.
Very blocky, and I prefer high pixels. Sort of like you when you watch your movies. You want
Okay.
pixel quality to be like over 10,000.
Is it the game's issue or your internet speed issue? That's the
Nope,
problem with
not
a
an
lot of
internet
this.
speed issue. Just not into that type of game.
Okay.
Which is sort of like Hunger Games. The movie Battle Royale, one man standing. I'm not really interested. I think the next game I have coming to my house is God of War, which will probably be followed by maybe Spider Man and Red Dead Redemption, but I like to keep.
You know, Red Dead Redemption and Spider-Man has been out for like 6 months. Red Dead Redemption's been out for like a month. Do
And
you not feel the need to be up like
the first one in line?
the latest? Yeah.
No,
Really?
no.
Because by the time you play Spider-Man, they'll be probably getting ready to release the next Spider-Man movie game.
That's okay. That doesn't
Really?
that doesn't hurt. And not to mention when I play the games, I'm a completionist. So that means I want to make sure I do everything that the game offers. I want to do all the missions. I want to collect all the collectibles. And sometimes it's better to have the game out. So if you need help in finding where all of Spider-Man's web shooters are, then I can go online and then look it up. And then it can help guide me through during the
Isn't
game.
part of the fun trying to find all that shit on your own without help?
No, I don't find that to be fun. I find it to be annoying. So, I mean, unless the game allows me, like if I buy a map in the game or something, if that's part of the game that leads me to the locations, I will do that. Sometimes the creators make shit like I have no time to swim an ocean to find, a treasure chest. Just somebody else give me the coordinates, please, because I'm not going to spend an hour. You don't have the time for that. At my age and trying to cultivate my relationships, Bill, I don't have time to be doing all that on my own. It's a young man's game.
So when do you play these games? Like, do you do this before work, after work, before bed, after?
Well, if I'm really like into the game, like if I get the taste of like the cocaina, if I get addicted to it, then I might leave work a little bit early, get home, and then try to fire up an hour of it before my woman gets home. That's the whole idea. Get it in and get it done before she arrives.
See, what I don't understand is it's like if it'd be like if Infinity War Part 2 comes out and we just waited until like not even the Blu-ray, but like it went on to like Netflix to watch it. Like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
Bill,
it's
I'm not going to be
out.
making down for Aquaman. We're just going to have to wait till it hits the Blu-ray before we watch it.
No, that's not acceptable. That's what I'm saying. Like Red Dead Redemption, aren't you just like, I can't wait to play that game because you spent so much time playing the first one? Like, I want it now, and if it comes out now, I have to have it now.
Okay, I know where you're going with this, and you already really also know part of the answer is I don't want to spend $60 for the game.
Okay, but like, I understand not spending $60 on like, I don't know, a CD or something that's like second tier level entertainment for you. But this is like top level tier entertainment for you. This game thing that you spent like how many hours of your life playing?
Yeah, I find it's the price point for me. I feel like probably the
This
price
is where your
point.
sickness comes in. This is where you're crazy, folks. Listen carefully. Go ahead.
I feel as though the price point should be around. I find for me is $20 to $25. Me paying $60 for it, it just seems like all I have to do is wait a couple months, and then the price drops another $20.
Listen, if the Russo brothers want to charge us $60 to see Infinity War Part 2 on day one, so be it. Okay? I'm not going to be like this. I think that price point's a little steep. But you're going to find out what happened to all the Marvel heroes yeah, but I can wait. No. Here's take my $60. Take it. Give me the movie now. I want it now.
Yeah, I can't put you in charge. See, this is why I can't. I'm gonna have to have an administrator when I leave you some cash because there's no way.
I just don't understand it. But okay, I'll go with it.
So if the Russos said that with Aquaman, how about the Aquaman? Aquaman's coming out, and they go, we're doing a different format. James Cameron has come in and he's retooled everything, and so there's going to be some new special effects, Wachowski style, Matrix style, and we're going to charge you $90 if you want to see Aquaman within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, sold. I mean, look at it like this, Jay. This is like my Christmas present to myself, Aquaman, because It's the next iteration of the DCEU. It might be one of the last iterations of the current version that we know of as the DCEU. There's no other major movie coming out this Christmas. So it's my Christmas present to myself. It's not like there's a Star Wars movie waiting in the wings where I'm like, oh, well, it's secondary to the episode 9. No, episode 9 is not until next December. So this is like the big hoorah for my Christmas movie going experience. Yeah, it's worth $90 to me.
Well, I can also say that, I can get that, but there's also part of it is that it's better for me to take a natural break in between games because I can't just be holed up in the basement playing video games. So,
And,
you got to play
and spanking,
one.
and your girlfriend comes down like, what is that odor? Oh, that's just my crotch, babe. You like that odor?
Yeah, yeah. She actually
Crotch
played a
rot.
song. She played a song, and I thought about you in the car, and I
Yeah,
actually mentioned it out loud. It's a Sesame Street song where Oscar the Grouch sings it.
yeah.
I love trash. I love
Fuck you.
trash, whether it be rotten or rusty or whatever, dirty or dusty. I
Yeah,
love
that's an old.
trash.
That's an oldie but a goodie. But okay, yeah.
And so I thought of you and your movie taste actually.
Whatever. Whatever.
But since YouTube is coming down like a fucking hammer on copyright infringement, I can't
Yeah,
play
we
this.
can't be using that.
I can't be using it. So, you know what comes on, which is out in when I get Chipotle tonight, Bill. I can't wait to watch.
What are you watching?
Number one with a bullet, Night Flyers, George R. Martin.
Ooh,
Um,
I've not
the
heard good things.
You have not heard good
I
things?
have heard not good things.
Do tell.
No, because I want you to enjoy yourself and have a good time tonight.
Well, I'm
So
still going to fire it up tonight. But what have you
I've
heard?
heard it's slow and dull. That's what
Okay. I see. This
I
is.
heard.
I'm going to watch it because I think there's 2 episodes available. One's on demand. I think the premiere. I thought, but whatever it is, it's fired up on my with my Fire Stick or Fire TV or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
This is what I need from R. Martin. I need him to finish the damn book and focus on the thing that got him famous. Now we're doing all this other shit, and he's becoming like what's his name?
Because
Robert Kirkman.
what Roger
Selling
Corman?
out.
Because
You
they're
don't
throwing
need
money at him and he doesn't have time.
It's like the Russos. Didn't you just sit there and say, "I need you to focus on Infinity War. I don't need you to start doing all these other side projects." You don't
Yeah,
need.
exactly. Well,
Well,
yeah, I do, but doesn't mean they're going to do it just because
of
I
course.
want them
This is why we can't. If we get the Infinity Glove, those fuckers, it's going to be a snap of our fingers, and they're going to be sitting at the typewriter.
to. I think they
Um,
said that they in the Q&A this week they said that they're done with Marvel after Avengers. They're calling it A4 unless Marvel decides to do Secret Wars in the
Secret War,
MCU.
right? I saw that too. That they will step back, which is great. I love to have them just do like the major epic movies. That
Do you
works
need
with me.
do you need to have them do Deadly Class season 3? Is that what you're waiting for? Yeah, that's
You
what's going
know,
on.
as we always say, it's the Shia LaBeouf syndrome. You have something that's going well. People like what you're doing. You're operating at a high level, but then you want to go off and do some sort of like indie project where you walk through the woods and eat berries and do something else like that because that's artistic. Whatever, stretch your
To be
legs.
fair, these are probably two of the biggest movies in all time since certainly since like Lord of the Rings that was filmed back to back to back, which Peter Jackson did, and The Hobbit back to back to back, which Peter Jackson also did. These are probably some of the biggest movies of the last 10 to 15 years. So if they need to take a break and step back for a little while because they've been burnt out on it, I understand that. I
Yeah.
don't know if I need them to be doing all sorts of other crap, but just take a break, go on vacation, go to Fiji, go to Turks and Caicos, whatever you got to do
Listen,
to
if we were
decompress.
making America great again, I would have these fuckers signing indentured servitude contracts and then tying their ass to the director's
Huh.
chair. Okay, that's what would be happening.
Yeah, I know, but that's not really how the world works. So maybe they could just take a vacation and come back when they're rejuvenated. But, if Deadly Class is what rejuvenates them, I'll give it a try. They get one episode. maybe two. That's it. I'm tired of watching crap. I'm tired of watching crap on television. I'm waiting for, I want Disney. I'm so excited about Disney Plus because, or Disney, whatever it's called. Disney, is it Disney Plus? Yeah, because I want cinematic production levels in a TV show, and I know that's not realistic, but if anybody can do it, it's certainly going to be Disney.
Okay.
So I'm frankly, like, we were talking this week about, the whole news about, we might as well just get into it. The cancellation of Daredevil came this week, followed following the cancellation of Iron Fist and Luke Cage, which clearly states that Netflix is done with the Marvel universe. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm going to be honest. And I'm currently in the middle of watching both Iron Fist season 2 and Daredevil season 3. Because you know what they're not? These shows are not cinematic. They're just not. And there's way too much talking, there's way too much crime drama involved, and it's not enough superhero. And this has been a complaint since season 1 with these shows. I need them to step it up. And if Disney Plus gives them the excuse of putting cinematic effects and visuals on a TV show and it gives them the budget to do so, I'm all for it because I'm not here for fucking crime drama. I could watch, you know, SVU to get a crime drama. I don't need to watch Daredevil without a costume giving me the same talky bullshit every week. I just don't need it. So
I agree with you.
I'm
I
kind of
think it's.
relieved. If they are
I,
canceled and they're moving on, I'm okay with it.
I think a lot of probably the trepidation comes in for the fans is, oh, this sucks because I like Luke Cage and Mike Coulter or whatever else. It's just whether or not these actors will continue on in their roles, or will this result in there being new casting. I think that's because I would agree with you. This has kind of run its course a little bit. We have the same complaints after each season of watching the Netflix Marvel shows. It's the same complaints. Very slow. I mean, that seems to be the main one. We need to somehow tighten it up a little bit. Instead of 13 episodes, make it 10. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and
is there any word on whether or not they're going to be keeping the actors?
there's no consensus, but the rumor and the speculation and the innuendo on people's parts is that they're going to recast, just like they did with Tom Holland.
They're going to wash the Netflix stink off of them. I
Yeah,
don't want to call it stink. The Netflix smell off of them.
right.
And
And
make it our own
if it
show from
ends up
the top,
making their
and we're going to do it
shows
our way.
right, and if it ends up making their shows more exciting and more visually stimulating and more superheroic, then I'm okay with it. I really am. I'm not a particular fan of the Netflix style of Marvel shows in any iteration, and all four of the shows, with the major exception for me of Defenders, because it actually did something. They actually had some fucking action in that show versus all the fucking talking, and it just seems like these shows are very incongruous with the Marvel brand cinematically, in my opinion. The Marvel brand cinematically gives you the depth of the characterizations, but it also gives you the action and the punch, the bang for your buck. And that, I'm sorry, it was one sided on the Netflix versions, where it was more of like the depth of the characters at the expense of making it an action show.
I guess if this works out, this might free up Mike Coulter for some other roles, which I would look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's not really something I'm looking forward to. I would like Mike Coulter to stay in the part. I like Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, but if it means that they're going to have to reboot because it's not going to be consistent with their other plan of getting rid of like Jessica Jones or my Charlie Cox, you know, if it gives me more of what I want from Marvel for them to reboot, then I guess I'm okay with it.
It's going to be very interesting because it's not like somehow we're not going to watch the shows, but you know, some
Oh,
of these
Disney
characters.
Plus, take my
Oh,
money now.
oh yeah, I mean, but the idea is like I like Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. You know, these
Yeah, I do
shoes.
too.
This, you know, some of these characters themselves are going to be like this. You know, they actually casted it right. I would argue, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
the one thing they got right in the show is the casting. The rest of it, I can live without it.
so it'll be interesting. Um, you know, it'll be the Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire thing.
Right.
Um, anyway, there was something else on that. There was something else regarding that.
On the cancellations?
Yeah. It was. I was going to bring it up anyway. So when will they be firing up these shows, Bill? When will they be firing those bad boys up?
Well, supposedly the launch of Disney Plus is December or late third quarter 2019. So I would look for about a year from now. And what I hope is that they don't do it like a tiered launch, although that's probably more to their advantage if they do like Scarlet Witch and Vision, or there's the Scarlet Witch and Vision has been announced as the title of the show. So now we are pretty much confirmed that we're going to get both Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen in one show, and Bucky and Winter Soldier, or I'm sorry, Falcon in another show. Loki is another show. I mean, these are characters that, I mean, this is what they should have done from the start. Instead of doing this whole Netflix sort of connected, not really connected to the MCU, they should have given us in the first place. But you know, let's move on. They're giving it to us now in Disney Plus, and it's the movie characters translated into television. So you can explore some of the secondary characters that don't get as prominent storyline in the movies, but are still in the movies and still that you like from the movies, and so you still are invested in the characters. Whereas with Daredevil and stuff, they're just sort of making them out of whole cloth that you don't invest from the cinematic universe, but they're part of the MCU, but they're not really because there's no connective tissue. Whereas with Scarlet Witch and the Vision, they've already been in the biggest movies of the MCU. So you're already sort of built in, invested in there, and you want to find out either what happened in their past, or if they survive the snapping, what happens in their future, whatever. I'm so much more into this than I was with Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, because it's connected the way it should be.
Okay.
As a concept, anyway.
All right. We had some any other Disney Plus shit before I move on?
Well, I mean, so far we've got 3 Marvel shows, 2 Star Wars shows, 3 Star Wars shows if you include the Clone Wars Resurrected. And I'm trying to think if I think there's another Disney proper show that they're doing. I mean, this is all like this is the most exciting streaming service launch that I can imagine. So, day one, $1, Disney Plus is on the docket.
Oh, I can't wait to get your username and password. Can't wait.
What I can't wait for is when they go, "We're sorry, this username has already been taken. Please enter a new username and password."
I let them know that they're going to be having 2 different streams. They're like, wait, we have a stream coming from Columbus and then from Helmholtz adjacent. That's right. Bill's in 2 locations.
Yeah,
2 locations.
That seems impossible, even for Vision and Scarlet Witch. Anyway, so
we had a couple trailers drop.
What were they?
They were The Lion King and Artemis Fowl.
Oh, Artemis Fowl. I don't know, but I can tell you right now, The Lion King, when they started screaming that I was like, oh fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's the black in you. You just can't help but start doing some sort of like minstrel dance show when they play that music, huh? That's
yeah.
Like the pipe.
It speaks to my childhood. It's not really my childhood. It's more like my young adulthood, because in 1994 I was 24 years old, for God's sake.
Is that when The Lion King came out?
Yeah, 94.
Okay.
Um, but I can tell you, I don't know any other company that could like maybe Lucasfilm that could like remake a movie from animated movie to live action movie or CG action movie, whatever you want to call it, and get this kind of like response. I think there was like 224 million views in like 24
Oh
hours.
yeah, the views for the
The Lion
trailer,
King
the
trailer.
teaser trailer,
Yeah.
if you will, were off the charts.
Yeah. So yeah, Disney just. I just want to be like. I just want to imprint my house with the word like Disney. I think we should probably still try to jump on like the Disney stock because I don't think it's going anywhere but up from here. To be honest with you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the whole idea is we should have got it when we buy low. If there was ever a low point, we should have probably bought it though. We were past
Yeah,
that.
there was plenty of low points like in the early
We
'80s.
can add to the PCP podcast stock tips and jumping on board for certain things from the future here. I don't know what that will be. Maybe it could be. I don't know. I don't know what to
Doesn't
look
your
out for
nephew
yet.
own Disney stock? Didn't you buy him some Disney stock at some point?
I might have bought him like a quarter of a share or something else like that.
Yeah,
But
we got to be kissing up to that kid because he's going to clearly be rich in the future.
so,
Um,
so Nathan, what do you want for Christmas? I want stock options, please. Stocks
yeah,
in
that just
Google,
seems like
stocks in
so.
Disney. You
I'm
don't want
so
any
opposed to that, but
toys?
in this case, I have to almost to say, who could blame the kid, right? Um, but yeah, I loved it. Did you? What did you think of the trailer?
Well, in terms of the line, I think sometimes I watch so much stuff, I don't think I get impressed by things that people are just
Anything?
like, it's this amazing CGI work. I think the first time I was really impressed with the CGI and how amazing it looked was when I saw Jurassic Park. Um,
That was like 30 years ago, Grandpa.
I understand, but that shit was amazing to me.
Yeah,
Those
ages ago.
everything
Are you
it
telling me
looks.
nothing has impressed you CGI wise since 1993?
Maybe I can give some to the Lord of Rings, sure,
Okay.
and Weta. But I'm just saying, when I watch it, I mean, I've seen the Jungle Book with John Favreau. I mean, those things are great, but I don't know if I walk away, I'm just like this. That's they really broke the mold. But anyway, my point of the matter is, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Okay,
Now,
that
the
really
first
doesn't
time
expound on anything. Can you go a little further?
I first saw the Lion King movie, I want to say sometime in the 2000s.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I took you to see the Lion King because I insisted that you go with me and Chris and my ex-boyfriend Frank. And I remember because no one else wanted to see it, and everyone was like, "Oh, whatever." And I was like, "The Lion King is the shit. It's the shit." And everybody was like, "Poo poo, yah yah, blah blah blah." That's
Are
what
you
I remember, but maybe
are
I'm
you
wrong.
sure? Because I don't remember seeing the Lion King with you
No,
in a group. And
who
if
did
I
you
did
see?
see it, I must have been sleeping because I don't remember it.
I just remember everybody was not impressed as I was, but okay, maybe it wasn't you. Okay,
I saw it later on,
okay.
and I remember shedding a tear as I watched the movie.
When Mufasa died.
I'm sure I don't know. I can't remember, but I felt the whole thing was like, oh, this Disney people, they're always just pulling out my emotions, playing with my emotions. So I'm going to see the movie because I like these whole live action remakes that they're doing. I just don't know if I was kind of like, you know, down on my knees going, "Oh shit," when I saw it.
Well,
But
okay.
I'm sure they're going to be pulling a ton of cash because all the parents and people like you
It's
are going to be
nostalgia. It's the
yeah, they're
same thing that made The Force Awakens successful.
yeah, they're going to be throwing their money at it. Now for Artemis Fowl, this is based on a book, right?
It's based on a book series, so it's sort of like a Harry Potterish thing.
Okay, I think it's what does it say here? It says a 12-year-old Irish boy genius who hatches an impossible scheme to kidnap a fairy and ransom it for gold.
Yeah, I don't know if
It's
he sounds like a
fairy
hero,
leprechauns and tech-savvy centaurs. I saw what's his name? Kenneth Branagh.
right?
I saw
Directed.
his
Who's
Murder on the
directing it
Orient
as well?
Express. He did Thor. I saw the trailer for this one, and I am not interested in so many levels. It seems too slick for me. Too slick, like a snake oil salesman. Um,
Disney. Not everything Disney touches turns to gold. Let's not forget about
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland or
Yeah.
you know, uh,
At least with Tomorrowland, when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Ooh, this looks good." At least I was on board as soon as I saw it. It
what
turned
was the
out to
one
be
that you
crap.
hated with Ava DuVernay?
Oh, Wrinkle in Time.
Wrinkle in Time. So not everything they touch turns to gold. They have a higher percentage of gold turning than any other studio currently operating, I think,
I
because they
wouldn't bet
own so
against
much
them.
shit.
Wouldn't bet against them, sure.
No, but that doesn't necessarily mean Artemis Fowl is going to be a home run. So, um, I don't know. I'm somewhat interested, not highly interested. I prefer Disney to stick to like remakes and updates and Marvel movies, to be honest. So I'll just tell it like it is.
All right.
So
Hey, there's this thing here. Um, I hope this doesn't drag down the show, but this article popped up that apparently this is a little bit of fun news here, that the British Film Institute is trying to combat the negative stigma associated with disfigurement. The organization has announced that it will no longer provide funding for films that include villains with facial scars.
I saw that
So, like Lashif from
Joker.
Casino Royale, if they're going
Right.
to be doing the movie with him because he's got that big scar around his eye, they're not going to be getting funding from the BFI.
Right.
No funding for you if your villains have facial scars.
I don't really understand what this is about. Like, I feel like this is more political correctness gone astray. Um,
The BFI director, Chief Executive Ben Roberts, quoted as saying, "Film is a catalyst for change, and that is why we are committing to not having negative representations depicted through scars or facial difference in the films we fund."
so
Now,
now ugly people are protected. Now we're saying people who have ugly scarifications or, some
Bill,
kind of
usually the
facial
people with the
damage.
facial scars are the villains in the movie. They're not all
Well, I
villains.
mean, it's kind of a thing that's kind of, again, it's kind of tried and true by
You want to make
tradition.
America great again and go back where we could have our villains with facial scars and not.
We could just have all our villains be orange with wild hair. I mean, if that's really okay. But
Do any villains come to mind with facial scars? Outside, I mean, they put in here Lashif from Casino Royale, played by the guy that's on Hannibal. What's his name? I can't. It escapes me right now.
Matt Mickelson.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to think. Oh, what about Heath Ledger? Does Heath
Yeah,
Ledger have
Joker.
scars on his face?
Yeah, he scarred his own face. Yeah.
Okay, there's one. Any other villains come to mind?
I don't know. That mongoloid thing from Moonraker,
I don't think you're supposed to say Mongoloid.
Jaws.
I don't think that's
No.
actually appropriate, but okay. That's like you calling my sister mulatto at one point. She was like, excuse me?
I mean,
Is that what you are? I've heard that term.
is that a bad word? Is that not good? That's not good.
I didn't really look it up, so but based on her reaction, I probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't be throwing that one out unless you're at a private dinner table like with me and the rest of our.
Yeah, because that would go over even better, I'm sure. Um, okay, so no mulatto and no scarifications.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
What about
Which
then? What about? I guess will they not? They wouldn't fund. Now, facial scars are different than body scars. So, like Black Panther is okay because he didn't have scars on his face; they were just on his body.
that would be correct. That would be correct.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I think we're going too far now. That's my opinion. I think what's next? Nobody that has like fingernail fungus can be in a movie.
Goatees? How about goatees? People
I don't know if
villains
that's
are always
scar. That's
goatees,
really scarring. That's kind of
mustaches.
like I don't know. I just feel like political correctness has gone astray. That's my opinion in general.
Okay. There was another article that came out. Speaking of people, British. There's some actors here. I was thinking about a way to do this, but there's no way. Did you know that? Um, Let me ask. Daniel Kaluuya, the guy that was in Black Panther and he was in Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Right.
American or British?
He's British.
Charlie Hunnam, Sons of
British.
Anarchy. Naomi Watts.
British.
How do you know this?
I've
mean,
heard them
obviously it's
talk
a
off
50-50
camera.
chance. Wait, what?
I've heard them speak off camera, and they have accents.
I don't know how that's. I don't listen to these people off camera. Are you
Well,
listening to
when
them
I say off camera, I mean
on
off
red
the
carpet?
roles that they were in. Like I've seen interviews with them where they speak as themselves.
Hugh Laurie,
British.
Andrew Garfield,
British.
and this is because you've heard them speak.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm like, these are not Americans. These are not Americans.
No, they're not. None of those people are American.
Naomi Harris.
British.
I did know that because I've seen her in the fucking what does it call it? James Bond movies. So
Right.
that makes sense to me. Aaron Taylor Johnson. He
British.
played it Kick-Ass. Okay. Andrew Lincoln on The Walking Dead.
British.
Chitwell Ejiofor.
British.
Gillian Anderson.
British.
Okay. She's in X-Files. Bill, do the Americans own anything?
No, not when it comes to movie roles. Apparently not.
Damian Lewis from Homeland.
British.
Will
Are all the
Pol-
answers British? Because I think I have all the answers. are
yeah,
British. I
Will
think I got it.
Poulter. We're the Millers.
Who's it? Will Coulter? Oh yeah, he's British. He was in.
Rosamund, Rosamund
one of
Pike
the-
in Going Girl.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Okay,
never
Dominic
seen it.
Cooper in Preacher.
British.
All right, a few more. The last one. Mika Barton. Michael Sheen.
Michael
is
Sheen.
Welsh. He looks
Okay.
familiar. Michael Sheen. What is he in?
That's not Zod, is it?
Zod? No, it is not. Michael Sheen.
I will find him. It's a very famous line.
Isn't that Mads Mikkelsen?
No, that's not Mads Mikkelsen. Really? Mads Mikkelsen was in Rogue One. He played Jyn Erso's father.
I don't think he. All right, Michael Sheen. Let's see here. Nocturnal Animals. That's what else he's in. I don't know. Here we go. He was in The Queen, Midnight in Paris, Frost Nixon, Masters of Sex. Oh, he was Amadeus
Really?
in the Broadway revival of Amadeus.
Okay. What no one's seen. Who is Zod in Man of Steel? God damn it. Michael.
Oh, it's Michael Sheen or something like that.
Yeah, it's something close to that. Anyway.
Oh no, we're looking it up, Bill. We're taking a moment on the show since we don't have a producer.
Okay.
What is his name? There it is. Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon. See, it was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, give me the I will find him. I love that. We should put that on the queue.
I will find him. Yeah.
Does he have any facial scars, by the way? Let me
No.
see here.
He does not.
Bill, since it actually is Christmas here, coming up here shortly in about 3-4 weeks, do you have some top Christmas movies that you
Are
pull
you
out
kidding?
for the
I have
holiday?
everything movies. I have all kinds of weird things. My favorite Christmas movie of all time currently is The Polar Express.
Ooh, is that the hot chocolate? Gotta get that
Yes.
hot chocolate. Hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Yes, it is the Robert Zemeckis Uncanny Valley, early CGI, Christmas movie. I love it.
I've never seen the Polar Express, but
Oh,
I've
that's
seen
just a sad
on the
thing.
Express.
Um, and the other one currently is Rise of the Guardians, which is a DreamWorks animated film with a Russian Santa Claus played by Alec Baldwin.
I think
I
we
love that
saw
movie.
that in the theater.
I don't know if we did. Maybe
We
we
did
did.
see it in the
Okay.
theater.
I love that movie. Um, so those are my two current top favorites.
I think for me, my current top favorites, let me think. Die Hard,
I know. We think we had this discussion last year. Is this really a Christmas movie? Okay.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, I would put it up there as a classic for sure. But it's one of those Saturday Night Live things for me where after you've seen it so many times, the jokes aren't just aren't that funny anymore.
Oh, I'm still laughing.
Okay.
Oh, I'm still laughing. They came out on USA Today. They came out with like the 20 best Christmas movies,
Yeah.
and I think my woman Chris. I think I'm going to be watching Prancer this year because that's one of her favorites.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, apparently I'll be watching it.
Good.
Um,
You need more Christmas movie exposure.
yeah,
Love Actually, I'm sure, is on the list, but I totally disagree with that film.
Love Actually, I would say is
Ugh.
a Christmas movie, and it is on the list.
Oh.
It's it's number 4 on their
Oh.
list.
So not one of my favorites.
Number 1 is Scrooge with Bill Murray. Did you see Scrooge?
I don't think I did.
I don't think I've ever seen Scrooge too.
Uh-uh.
I kind of like Bill Murray and Groundhog Day and other movies. I just wasn't really interested in watching him in Scrooge. But apparently they like him in Scrooge. It's a Wonderful Life, 1946.
Oh, that's a classic. I
You know,
could
I've
I
never
could
seen.
watch It's a Wonderful Life, but it's just, it's a little bit of a slog. It's a
Why?
classic, but
Why is it a slog?
it's it's a little long.
A little bit too
Um
long, huh?
it's a little bit too long, but I mean it's definitely I would say it's a classic, an instant classic. I think it deserves to be in the top 20 for sure.
Oddly enough, low hanging fruit. I only saw what do you call it? Maybe the last 10 minutes of it. It's a Wonderful Life.
How would you watch the last 10 minutes? Were you flipping through everything else on TV that night and it just came on for 10 minutes?
I probably just clicked on it to be like this. I know that the bell rings, an angel gets its wings. So all I did
Right.
was
But there's
decide
only like an hour and 50 more minutes of that, but okay.
yeah.
Okay. It's all
I
about the
got the
Great
gist.
Depression and,
Yeah.
people taking pride and their good work. It's a lot of
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that.
I got the gist of it. Oh, there's Elf. I think Elf
Never
is a
seen it.
fun movie.
I've never seen Elf.
You've never seen Elf?
I have not because I'm not a Will Ferrell fan, and
I
so I
I
kind
was
of
about
try
to say
not to know.
that seems like that might be too on the nose for you that you would
Yeah,
not.
I'm not a Will Ferrell fan, so I've not really ever pursued trying to see that movie.
I love trash, whether it's rusty or rotten or that's
Yeah,
Miracle on 34th Street.
never saw it.
Okay. The Apartment.
Yeah,
19
it's a great movie, but I don't know if it's a Christmas movie.
Jack Lemmon, huh?
Yeah, Jack
Chris-
Lemmon and what's that old
Shirley
woman?
MacLaine.
Yeah, Shirley MacLaine.
Wow. Christmas Carol, 1951.
That's not my favorite version of Christmas Carol, but that's okay.
I don't think I've ever seen a Christmas Carol, whether the 1951 version
You've
or
never seen any version of a Christmas Carol?
no. And in fact, the
Not even the
grandson.
Muppets Christmas Carol?
No.
What the fuck? There's been like 17 versions of that movie out. It's a classic tale. It's fucking Charles Dickens. Mrs. Havisham and Great Expectations and all that shit.
I think I've seen part of Great Expectations. I've probably watched that.
We had to read it in high school, and we probably watched the movie in high school.
There's a thing called Cliff Notes in high school. So
Really? I can't believe there's been like 50 fucking versions of the Christmas Carol made, and you've never seen any of them. Not even the Disney animated one
No,
with Jim Carrey.
no.
Sometimes I weep for your soul.
Gremlins?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Christmas. I guess it's set at Christmas time, so I guess if you consider it a Christmas movie, it's not
Okay.
a favorite.
Lethal Weapon?
No,
Nightmare
I
Before
mean I've seen
Christmas?
it, but Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, but it's not really a Christmas movie. It's more like a Halloween movie.
Okay. There's a movie called White Christmas
Of
1954.
course. Hello, you've never seen White Christmas?
No, I prefer Black Christmas.
Oh,
Okay.
stop! It's not about black snow, motherfucker. That's ash from like a volcano. Um, it's about snow.
It's a musical
Yes, it's a musical.
with Bing Crosby. Didn't Bing Crosby
Yes.
like to talk with his fist? Is that Bing country?
No, it's Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. They were like a famous Hollywood duo
Mhm.
for like movie musicals in like the 50s, 40s.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
You've
about
never
Arthur Christmas?
No, I've never seen it.
Animated?
No.
Home Alone?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know if I'd put it on the top 20.
Okay. How about The Ice Harvest? My last one.
No, never seen it.
Okay. I actually have never seen it either. It's with John Cusack. Anyway,
So what is your
well,
favorite Christmas movie? Please don't tell me Love Actually.
that's pretty high up at the top,
Oh,
but I really
okay.
think probably Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie.
It's barely a Christmas movie, but okay. It's
Yeah,
really not a
when I
Christmas
said Die
movie
Hard,
in
my woman
spirit.
looked at me like I'm just an idiot. She looks at me like you're just a fucking idiot. That's pretty much it.
I mean, it's a Christmas movie because it's set at Christmas. I mean, Batman Returns, if you want to use that rule, is a Christmas movie
But
because it's set during Christmas.
they're
But
probably good. I know.
as far as like the
Um,
themes of like, love and joy and
it,
happiness and gift
National
giving and
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation probably
okay.
has to be at my top because
All
I
right.
love the Chevy Chase with the family vacation movies, and so it's
Okay.
just appropriate for me that um, that would be it.
Okay. I like that movie. I own the movie. It's in my collection. I just don't find it as highly repeatable as many others in
I
my
got that.
collection.
I got that. So anyway, Bill, there's a few more topics here, but I don't think I'm going to hit upon those. I just don't
Why?
find them to be. What's that?
Why?
They seem to kind of be slow. I've already clicked off of it. It was something about the house that Jack Bick, that Lars von Trier movie.
Lars von Trier?
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Okay.
Apparently, they released the unrated version out in theaters about a couple weeks before the R-rated versions come out. Apparently, that's a no-no.
Okay.
That violates the rules. You're apparently supposed to get a waiver before you do that.
Well,
And
since
now,
when has Lars von Trier ever done anything that you were supposed to do? But okay.
okay, well, that's what they've done, and now there's going to be some punishment that's handed down. You know
So
how
no Oscar for him,
I don't know
which
if it's no Oscar, but I think it's going to result in like whoever released the movie being on punishment for like 30 days or something else like that. I don't know. I think I put it in there because it was just interesting as the behind the scenes of some of the rules that you have out there. There's an article about the 10 filmmakers who directed multiple Stephen King movies and who did it best.
okay.
There's Mary Lambert, who did the Pet Cemetery movies.
Horrible.
Louis Teague, he helmed Cujo and then Cat's Eye in '85.
Horrible.
Tom Holland, he did The Thinner and the much maligned series, The Langoliers, which I actually like The Langoliers, believe it or not. I mean, it looked like
Really?
it was on a shoestring budget, but I liked it.
It was a TV movie, that's why. Um, okay.
Um,
And I
Toby
believe
Hooper,
that Tom Holland, the one that directed that other movie that you just talked about, I believe that's Tom Holland's father, Tom Holland
are,
Sr.
are you serious?
I believe it is.
Wow, look at that.
So,
It's a family. What is it? Is it Tobe Hooper or Hopper?
It's Toby Hooper.
Toby Hooper. Um, Salem's Lot. 1979.
TV
I
movie.
want you to know that scene with the vampire child floating in the window. Did you see Salem's Lot?
I don't remember it. I might have seen it, but I don't remember it.
Okay, well, that scene there kept me up at night. This little vampire child floating up at the window after he was killed.
Right.
Oh my, it's just frightening for me. Um, Something called The Mangler in 1995. He was a part of J.J. Abrams.
Hmm.
Um, what is it? 11/22/63, and he's producing the
James
Castle
Franco
Rocks. What's that?
with James Franco.
Yeah.
Right.
He's also producing the Castle Rock series, which I never finished. Found it to be slow and just boring, just outright boring. George Romero, Creep Show in 1982.
Right.
Um, Psychological slasher, The Dark Half in '93. Rob Reiner, he did Stand by Me and Misery. Frank Darabont of Walking Dead fame, Shawshank. Um, The Green
And
Mile
also The Green Mile. Right.
and The Mist.
Hmm. Did you
Um,
see The Mist?
the movie,
Yeah.
it's on my top 100 films, Bill.
Oh my God.
I own the disc. Well, I did own the disc, and then I sold them because
Is
I
that
was
the one with what's his name who was in Punisher? One of the Punisher
Thomas
movies.
Jane,
Yeah. Yeah.
the one where he kills himself at the end. Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
okay.
well, he kills his family at the end. Spoiler
That's on
alert.
your top 100 list of all time.
Oh yeah, the movie's good.
Oh,
Movies. Well,
we have
I'm getting
very
ahead of
different
myself
tastes.
at the end. Mick Garris, he did the 1997 Shining miniseries, um, and as well as The Stand and Bag of Bones. Now, I will say that while Frank with the Shawshank and the Green Mile are the more sophisticated and probably the more recognized and awarded shows, The Mist is probably one of the best Stephen King movies for me. Even though the ending I feel is a little bit cheap.
Did we see that
Um,
movie together?
I don't know if we saw it together. I don't think so. But the ending has one of those endings that's always really ticked me off in the way it was directed. And I complained to you about this a million times over, and I've grown to just kind of let it go because I like to keep it in my collection. But the whole movie is so strong, obviously, about this mist coming over the town, and there's something in the mist, and all the people turn on each other. It's with me with the whole like Walking Dead and zombie series. The real enemy is the people around you, not the monsters.
Right.
But the movie is the way it's filmed. It's such a cheap ending because Thomas Jane and his son and a old couple get out. They flee the supermarket where they were hiding with the rest of the people in the mist, and they only make it so far and run out of gas. And Thomas Jane has a gun, and he comes with the bright idea that we're not going to let the monsters take us. We're just going to kill each other. And he starts off by shooting. You don't see it, but you just see three gunshots. And essentially, he kills his son and the two other people in the vehicle. And then he runs out of bullets where he can't kill himself. And then, after screaming so loudly, he hears what he believes is the monsters coming for him. And then it's essentially the U.S. military coming. And the way it's filmed, if he would have just waited like 2 minutes, they could have been saved. And I just felt like that was just a cheap ending. Like I felt like it was just so stupid. Like you know, it should have been directed in a different way. Like he was left alone for like 3 more hours and then he was rescued. I don't know, but it felt like so cheap. You know,
So even though this ending disagreed with you, it still somehow ends with the movie landing in your top
yeah,
100 of
it
all time.
just real. It's just really it falls apart the way it's directed, and
And that
but
doesn't take it off the list.
no, it's so strong throughout it. I just can't, Bill. I can't just remove it from the list. I'm keeping it on there. I know. I know. I've given you shit before on this one, but I got to keep it on there. But I think the award for multiple Stephen King movies would have to go to Rob Reiner for me. You got Stand By Me and Misery. I mean,
Neither one of these movies, which are movies I've seen and not hated before,
okay.
would end up in my top 100 anything.
Okay.
I just,
What, did you
I
like
just,
Creepshow with George Romero? That was a classic back then in
yeah. The
'82.
only Stephen King movie that I would probably ever even consider putting in my top 100 of anything would be The Stand.
Oh, and
Yeah,
The Stand is one of my favorite miniseries of all time.
yeah, because it's a great show. It's a
Aren't
great.
they going to be doing a remake of that?
I've heard that, but I haven't heard any movement on it at all in like ages. So I don't know what's going on with the project. I don't know what stage of development it's in, if it's in anything, but
See, The Stand is like, what year is The Stand? Do we know what year The Stand
it was
is?
early 90s. It was like 92, 93.
Okay, it when you watch it, it has that whole like '90s, '80s cheesiness. There's some cheese into it,
Yeah, but the
and there's
philosophy and stuff in there, and like the whole like old black woman sitting on a porch with like the old wise black woman, like Yoda.
yeah.
Yeah, that's like great stuff. The Prophet.
Oh, it's all. I don't know how you would do the remake because I like part of it is I'm down with the things that they did back then because I like the story and the way it was shown. I had a feeling if they were to do a remake, they would try to make it serious. I mean, make it serious, which might remove some of the charm. Well,
Right.
I don't know. I like The Stand. I would
I love The
love for them.
Stand. I do. Like I said, I think I would put that one as my only Stephen King in the top 100.
Mm. You didn't
And
like
it's not
Stand
even a
by
movie;
Me?
it's a miniseries.
You don't like Stand by Me or Misery?
I like them, but they're not something I would put in my top 100.
Okay.
They're not something I would ever consider to be like repeatable.
Do you think we have enough miniseries out there that we could do a top list of ours, or is there not that many out there?
We could probably do a list. I don't know that I would put them like. I don't know that I would make a list of like ones I would watch again. Like I don't know if I even The Stand. I own it, but I've never really watched it again. To be honest with you.
Well, if The Stand came on television, I would watch it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but I don't need to. I have the disc, but I've never cracked it. I don't know why.
Kind of dark. Be kind of dark, Bill.
It's really not that. It was ABC. I mean, it's dark, but it's not like pitch black dark. It's not like Venom
Oh,
dark or.
I'm sorry. End of the world. The devil's coming. People are
Yeah, but
changing.
there and all amongst all of that, there's still the ray of hope that there's going to be people who are going to make it through that, and that's what makes it to me. It separates it from all the other Stephen King drivel, is that it's not about bleakness and loss of hope. It's about the maintaining of hope. It's like The Walking Dead. If The Walking Dead
I
was
think
something
at
I
the
could
end
watch.
of the mist in the book, I think one of the last words is like hope. The whole idea is that there's always hope, and that if he would have just held on for just maybe like 10 seconds, he could have had that.
Yeah, but he didn't, and that's where the loss of hope comes in.
Yeah.
So if he would have, that would have changed my opinion about it, but he didn't. And so it's sort of bleak, and I'm not down with bleak, as you know.
So, what else do we have, Bill? I think that's everything on my list, oddly enough. I don't
Really?
know. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you know Idris Elba's doing Luther. Have you heard of the
I've never
Luther
seen
series?
Luther. I thought they canceled that show.
Well, apparently the season 5 is coming back and they have a trailer out, which I'm looking forward to watching after we get finished with the podcast because I'm a Luther fan. Um, and I like
Cool.
the love interest. Well, she's not really a love interest. I think she makes a cameo, Ruth Wilson. I think she's attractive. I find her to be attractive. She's got an interesting look for me.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, that's all I have, Bill, on my list.
Okay.
I didn't feel like there was a lot out there, to be quite honest with you.
Well, I mean, there's, like I said, there's the whole week coming forward with finally some. I mean, if the Avengers trailer finally does fucking come out, it's
Well, wait
about
a
epic
second.
time.
You said earlier before I started the show that there
Oh,
was going to be a couple things coming our way this
yeah.
week.
So there's supposed to be a couple big things coming this week. Finally, the Avengers 4 trailer is supposed to be out. And also, the rumor is that there's going to be, as early as possibly tomorrow, a new Captain Marvel trailer. So it's supposed to be a big week of Marvel news and, perhaps the Avengers 4 title will also be released. I mean, all of this stuff is just like imminently waiting to drop. So hopefully it will do so. And I don't know about you, but I'm fucking tired of waiting. I don't know why
I
they're playing so coy, but it's
I
not
want you
cute
to know
anymore.
the Avengers 4 trailer is gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up, Bill.
I know.
There's gonna be no doubt about it.
I know.
Uh,
It's going to break the internet, right? So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, but, enough of like looking forward to it already. Like the Avengers 3 trailer came out over a year ago, November 29th, so everyone was saying November 29th would be the date for this year, where we're looking at December 3rd and beyond at this point. So, yeah, at this point, I I don't know what they could possibly do to live up to the anticipation of this trailer. The anticipation is probably more than the trailer's actually worth. I mean, look, I love Avengers Infinity War. I think it's the movie of the year without a doubt. I think it deserves all the credit one can leap upon it for all the Marvel movies that came before it. But it's still eventually just a trailer. So enough already with the coyness, is my opinion. Let's
okay.
just get it on. Let's get it on already.
I think with the
Stop
Captain Marvel
licking
trailer,
my toes or whatever, and let's go for it.
I think with the Captain Marvel trailer, I'm hoping that they give me more than they gave me in the first trailer. Maybe take a different um, position because I felt it was very standard and pedestrian. You know, the storyline that they were giving me in that trailer, and I need
Right.
something more. And I hopefully they can give me that to somehow take me off the uh, whatever. You
So the
know,
buzz for Aquaman and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse are both pretty much really positive. So that's exciting for end of the year movies for us or in general, just because.
yeah. I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to take that. Um, because sometimes you're the same people that find the Fantastic Beast movie to be good.
Listen,
So
for anything that gets the DC universe pros instead of cons, as we're used to so many cons coming out of people hating everything they've done to this point, for them to build upon whatever they can build upon is a plus for me. I want them to get accolades. I want there to be love for this universe because I want this universe to propagate and continue, not necessarily with some of the crap titles they've announced, but perhaps some of this will embolden them at some point to revisit some of the other stuff that we liked that other people didn't really at the time. Justice League. So
all roads lead back to
that's where I'm
Justice
going.
League for you. That's what it all leads
Oh,
back to you.
Justice League, Batman, Superman. That's where their meat and potatoes is.
Yeah.
Enough with the Batgirl, Supergirl, Birds of Prey, Joker, Elseworlds, whatever.
Zatanna. I saw
Zatanna. Yeah, now we
there's
got
gonna be
now we
very
got Zatanna. It's everybody's fingernails, toenail clippings movies, except the shit we actually need to be seeing. Superman 2. That's what I need to be seeing. I don't need to see Zatanna. I could care the fuck less about Zatanna. Okay? But with every movie that's tied to the MC or the DCU that they release that becomes successful, the stronger their case for these A-list heroes to come back. So hell yeah, if Aquaman is a success, that only builds upon the fact that they're going to maybe revisit this universe at some point with the same cast. Please God, let it be so.
okay. Unless Henry Cavill's too busy playing Geralt over in The Witcher, doesn't really have time to come back and play Superman.
Yeah, that we know how these Netflix shows work. The Netflix gets all horny and hot and bothered about the shit when it first starts, and then season 2 they're like, eh. By season 3 they're like canceled. So I don't know if this Hitcher thing is going to be long term or not.
I started watching The Man in High Castle. I'm about 4 to 5 episodes in. Um, that's one of my favorite series. Carlos is
So you
oh,
finally broke down and got back into it, and you're
yeah,
happy.
well, like you, it's the same thing. Superfan Carlos is like, I need to discuss this with somebody, and so you're just like, okay, well, I guess I gotta try to fire it up before You forget all the parts. And as I'm watching the show, I know you don't watch it. It's interesting for me that when you have these type of shows, I feel like the strongest storyline is what I want to see. Like there's a character called Ubenheimer Smith or whatever his name is.
Like John
Ubenfruer
Jangle.
Smith.
Okay.
Anyway, and it's his family and whatever else. His storyline and that whole thing I can watch 24 hours, 7 days a week. But it's not about him. There's other characters, and we have to follow their storylines,
Sure.
and I can give a shit about them because they're boring.
Why don't you tape the episodes then, or they're on what is it, Netflix?
Oh no, it's on Amazon Prime. I mean,
So
I can
just skip
fast
through
forward.
the shit you don't want to see.
Yeah, well, it's all part of like learning what's going to happen on the show. You kind of have
Mhm.
to watch it, but I'm just
Uh,
saying it's kind of like I don't really care. I
Right.
imagine it's for people who watch the show like This Is Us. Don't they have like multiple characters and
Well, I
different
watch
things?
daytime soap operas still, even though I don't really get invest in them anymore. Here's how I watch soaps. I watch three shows: GH, General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. I watch them all. Now, these two of those shows are 1 hour. One of them is a half hour. I watch them all in about 10 minutes. How do I do that? Fast forward.
Wow.
Yeah, because all the characters I give a shit less about are populating the show, and I'm like this. Yada, yada, yada.
Do you? That's becoming more apparent with me with some of these things. Like I'm like, why are we spending time? This is becoming a new thing for me as I'm watching these shows because it's like Game of Thrones. You have multiple characters, multiple different storylines leading in different directions, and sometimes some of the characters are just magnetic in their storyline. I know it's different for everyone, and then you have storylines like Bran on Game of Thrones, where it's the boy, with the broken legs. It's just boring. He's just boring every time he's on the screen, and you're just like, oh. Do you remember Heroes? Was there
I do
any
remember
Heroes
Heroes.
story that you didn't like? You were bored with at the time?
There were stories that I didn't care as much
No,
about as I did about
characters, not so much
others.
stories. I guess I want to say characters. Every time they came on,
Yeah,
you're just like, I could care less about this character.
yeah, I
But
wasn't in love with Hero, to be honest with you.
oh, you didn't like
'Cause,
Hero?
he was okay, but like some of his stuff was a little bit fluffy.
He was too minstrel, huh? He was too
A
busy
little
like,
bit.
"Yee,
Yeah.
yeah."
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Da, 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 superhero. Okay.
It was too
So,
much.
yeah, some of it was, but I wasn't really tempted to fast forward through it. But I
Well, no,
think
not fast forward through, but when they're on, I'm not fast forwarding through because it's part of the whole overall story. But I just don't really care about the characters and their advancement.
right, which is an issue, I think, for some of these current shows that are on the air, is that I don't know if it's because it's so easy to be able to just skip through the parts you don't like, or if the writing is so abysmal that it just becomes impossible to sit through. But I think that TV is, even peak TV is what we're currently in now, is still subpar to some stuff that used to be, on TV. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. All right. What else do we have in the news, Bill?
So
Box Office Mojo.
yeah, we got Box Office Mojo. Go for it.
Here we go. Let's see here. I feel like we haven't done Box Office Mojo in a while.
We did it last time.
Have you gone to the theater to see any movies?
No, I have yet to see Wreck It Ralph. So no.
You haven't seen Wreck It? I'm gonna wreck it.
I know I want to see it, but I kind of feel like I don't want to see it
Oh,
bad enough to sit in the movie theater and listen to people fucking watch
it's been a couple
on their
weeks. I
phone.
feel like for you, like if you don't hit it while it's hot, then you're
I
just like, I'll
know.
just wait for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Is it too cold outside for you? What
No,
happened?
I just kind of wanted to go, and then I was like, I'm so cozy in my bed with my Star Wars sheets and my
I
Blu-ray.
knew it. It's the weather. It's the dead season. It changes things. All of a sudden, people are just like, I just want to put on my PJs and stay in bed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really the weather for me or if that's just my general demeanor. So I don't know, but I haven't made it to see that.
Oh God! Sometimes I just want to stay in bed.
I know.
All right. So for the weekend of November 30th to December 2nd, it's already December, Bill. Christmas is right around the corner.
Hell yeah. Gift
2018.
getting season. Gift getting season.
Oh, so we've got all sorts of things we're buying over here at the house. If anybody's listening to
Well,
the
good.
podcast this far into here, Superfan Melissa and her husband Neil, there's like several different couples I have to have over to the house to have them over for dinner, check out the
Good.
and whatever else like that. Which means only thing is that now my woman, she's like a chatterbox. So, we have different ways of doing things. Like I'm a slow mover, like I want to research everything and find the best thing possible. My woman was this weekend. We're buying things, and she's just like, "So listen, I think we need to put up some artwork. Okay, what do you think about these pictures here? What about this one? This one? What about this one? This, that? Nope, this one." And I'm like,
Because the woman can make a decision that doesn't necessarily require 14 visits to Amazon, 25 review readings, and like 4 people's personal recommendations to get it done. That's why.
yeah, yeah, she's not really having my nonsense, but I'm just like, I mean, I guess.
So are you
Uh,
gonna you're gonna actually have like people over to like see your house and all that stuff since you've been there for like 9 months now?
well, I'm trying to. Obviously, we were
Good.
babysitting this weekend, and I want to. But part of it is you're still trying to. I don't know why we're so slow. I don't know why we're so slow,
I
but
don't
we're
I
slow.
really don't either. I think it's kind of bizarre. But
Right,
okay.
right now for the pet gate, what we have up is we have a cooler and some sort of metal rack. That's our pet gate.
So
Maybe I'll do.
take your asses to fucking Target and buy a fucking
Oh, we are
child
not
gate.
buying some Target pet gate, Bill.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Is that not good enough for you? You want to have some
No.
kind of like designer pet gate that's made
Yeah.
like
You ever see
by
the grand?
Mizrahi?
You ever see the ones that has the gate, but then it has a little door so the animals can get through, so you don't necessarily have ones that swing open. There's so many different
It would be
options.
different if you found it, liked it, and bought it, shipped it to your house in Amazon 2-day shipping, and be done with it. But this whole like 6-month process to buy a dog gate is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Hmm.
You don't
That
get that
remi-
that's ridiculous?
no, I don't. It also
Okay.
reminds me that I have to find some sort of cat tree. That's even more different. There was this designer cat tree, but it was like $300, but it
Uh-huh.
had like this curved wood and something else, but it seemed.
Why buy a $300 cat tree for these animals that have given you pleasure and will give you pleasure or give your woman pleasure at least for the rest of her life when you could certainly buy one that's cost less like on Ubid or youbreakifix.com
Or
and
Groupon or
or
something else.
Groupon or whatever and then buy a $400 toaster because that will certainly give you as much pleasure as having a cat tree that will make the cats happy forever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Moving on. By the way, Ferg has been sitting on my whole lap during this whole podcast, and
Is he feeling better? Has he stopped pooping all over the house
no, he's just not pooping now. So he's
at
just
all?
no, he hasn't. He's drinking water, and he just wants to eat selectively. He wants to eat what he wants to eat, and he's not eating his prescription food. So I don't know how we're. I feel like there's some sort of like food strike going on. Like I'm only going to eat chicken wings and pizza. I'm not going to be eating
What if
broccoli
you
and kale.
try? Have you ever tried putting like
Oh,
some kind of flavor packets on there? You've tried that before, right?
yeah, yeah.
Did it work?
No, he's
So he can smell through the flavor packets to the crap
yeah,
underneath. He's
he's
like,
weird.
nice try, but I'm not eating this
Yeah,
crap.
Scooty's is the one that kind of sniffs everything, but then goes, "Well, I'll just eat it anyway." I sniffed it. Seems kind of weird and different, but you know what? I'll eat it. Tastes good.
Or what if you did you try mixing the tuna in with the prescription food?
Oh yeah.
And that didn't
He
work
didn't
either?
eat last night because he's like, "Yeah, I'm not eating that.
Okay.
I'm
All
not
right.
eating that." All right, the number one movie, of course, is Ralph Breaks the Internet. It brought in another $25 million, bringing its worldwide total to $206 million. Actually, that's not a lot of money considering the budget was $175 million.
Yeah, really, it's really not. I kind of would expect it to be higher than that.
Why is
But
the
it's only been
budget
out
so
two
high?
weeks.
$175 million? What did they do?
It's CG. It takes like every time Rob blinks his eyeballs, it takes like 20 people like 4 months to do.
That's a lot of money, Bill. I mean, i-
I
it's
agree, but
175 million to make, and they're at 206 million
it's
dollars.
only been out 2 weeks, or even it wasn't Thanksgiving just last week, so it's only been out like a week.
I feel like it should be doing better.
Well,
Um,
I don't think I would worry about it too much. I think it'll go
okay, the
through.
number two movie in its fourth week of release is Dr. Seuss the Grinch. Actually, that looks interesting and fun to me. Um,
I think it looks like shit. And how many more versions of the Grinch do we have to see in our life?
there's a lot of them, and I get them confused. But the worldwide total in 4 weeks is $268 million, but the budget was $75 million. So it looks
Well,
like they're
so
in the
it's
chips.
yeah.
The number three movie is shirtless Michael B. Jordan in Creed 2. Pulled in
Sweaty
another
muscle
16.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he pulled in another $16 million, and that's a cool poster where he's flexing on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Sure is.
the worldwide total, it only made $11 million overseas. I don't know where it's released, but it's got a total of $92 million. The budget was 50 million. So I don't think
Can
it's.
you imagine somebody handing you $50 million and saying, "You know what, Payne? Go make us a big budget movie." Don't people get nervous spending that kind of money? I mean, not to mention some of these Marvel movies that cost like 150, $200 million. I mean, who's to say I'm in charge of that kind of money? I could never be in charge of that kind of money. I can't even balance my checkbook.
I'd be like, Bill, what are you doing? I've decided I want to have gold utensils on set. Everything's
I
got to
mean,
be gold.
I don't know. Do people not get nervous? These happen all the time. You hear about these inexperienced, like the Russo brothers, people who are like TV directors, and now they're making like $200 million movies. Like, I would shit myself if somebody handed me $200 million to make something. Are you out of your mind? I'm just saying. Just as an aside, an
I
aside
guess
here.
on day one, would I be like this? Okay, everybody, crew, take a break. I'm gonna have some Chipotle, and they're gonna be like this. I'm sorry, the Chipotle store down the street was closed, or they messed up our food. I'm gonna be like, that's okay. Take some of our $200 million, buy a franchise, and put it on set, so we can have
Right?
Chipotle whenever we want.
Right? I mean, that's what I would do. I would be like, I don't like these chairs. Somebody go on IKEA and order us some new chairs. But these chairs cost like $700 a piece. These were like very expensive chairs. I don't care. I have
Oh
$200 million.
Oh yeah. You know what it is? It's what it was that story. I hate to bring politics in there. Dr. Ben Carson, when apparently his wife was ordering new furniture for him for his new position, and the furniture was like 10 grand for a desk and shit like that. He was buying like Louis the 14th furniture.
Right.
That's what happens. You're just like, ooh, what's the budget? The budget is
Right.
200 million.
That's like more money than I can even fathom. That's like, I mean, that's all the monies. Give me, that's all the money. I have all the money. Well, sir, actually, we've gone like a month over budget. I don't care. How much is left in there? I'm sure there's like 100 million, right? No, actually, we're negative like 75,000. Oh, shit.
We're gonna have to do some sort of accounting to find out what you actually spent the money on. There's a lot of Blu-rays that were shipped to your place through Amazon.
Yeah, this would not work out for me.
Click.
This is why I'm not a major film director.
Number four movie, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, pulled in $11 million. It's been out for 3 weeks, bringing its grand total. See, this is where I'm at on this. These numbers should tell you all you need to fucking know. I can't stand this series, as you know. It it has worldwide pulled in $519 million.
It's only been out for 3 weeks.
The production budget is $200 million. How much did it make domestically? Only $134 million.
Yeah,
It's a
but
big hit.
domestic dollars spend just like foreign. So
It's a big hit overseas, where the people watch anything that's got like giant robots in it and anything with CGI in it, because that's They don't have that shit on a regular basis over here. It's a big hit overseas,
Right.
but for 3 weeks domestically and only $134 million, it's not the machine. It's not the Harry Potter machine, and but that's fine. That's fine. Um, this series here, it's a wrinkle in time. It's a wrinkle in time with positive press.
Is it really that
It's
bad?
not good, but the people are selling it because I don't
It's
know.
Harry Potter, bitches.
Yeah, they're so desperate. It's the Walking Dead syndrome. We're so desperate, we'll just watch anything. Just keep it on. We love it all. Let it go. Just let it go.
Let it go, Elsa. Let it go.
Okay, number 5, Bohemian Rhapsody, with its 5th week of release, pulling another $8 million, and its total worldwide gross is 539 million. Production budget $52 million.
Well, that's a lot of money for a $52 million movie.
Absolutely, I would say it's a runaway hit. Bryan Singer did a good job. Um, yeah, it's pulled in $164 million in 5 weeks. I mean, Fantastic Beasts, Harry Potter, 134 and 3. Bohemian Rhapsody, come on, has made more, has done more. The story's not that strong. The
Maybe people
Fantastic Beasts
aren't
story's not
loving.
that strong.
This is obviously an indication that people are not loving the movie. So maybe that'll be a wake up call
Oh,
for them.
you know what? I don't know why. You know what? You know what it is. I shouldn't go negative. That movie probably brings a lot of joy to a lot of different people who enjoy that storyline. That's fine. It's not like somehow I'm contributing to it. So I'm going to retract
But
that.
you are going to contribute to it because you're going to watch it when it comes out on DVD,
You know what?
right?
I'm thinking about not watching it, Bill.
Really? Really?
Burned by Wrinkle in Time. Yeah, I've been burned. I've taken some things. As you know, I watched the executively produced movie by Michael B. Jordan called Kin,
Hmm.
starring Dennis Quaid, James Franco, Zoe Kravitz. Guest appearance by Michael B. Jordan. One of the worst movies of the damn year.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking it up. I'm going to see how it. And by the way, it was out at the theater for a hot minute.
Hot minute is the exact phrase to put there.
The movie dropped on August 31st, the last week of summer, August 31st of this year, 2018. It made domestically $6 million.
Didn't that tell you that maybe you shouldn't have put it in your queue in the first place?
It was out for 4 weekends.
Doesn't that make you think, better not add to cart? That doesn't make you think like,
I mean, it ranked number 12 when it dropped. It ranked number 12 when it dropped. It pulled in $3 million. So there were some people that were like, "Ooh, alien gun! I'm gonna go check it out." And then after the $3 million, the next week it stopped down to $804,000. So
yeah,
I guess
if a
you're telling
movie
me I should
starts
have
at
been
three
aware. But
million,
sometimes, am I supposed to take the word that the people just anyway?
Jay, when this thing has a stink of death on it, it has the stink of death on it. You can smell the death from the fucking newspaper or the freaking internet website that you read the box office take on.
I know. Oops, sorry
You
about
can
that.
smell it. It's dead. It's dead.
So what I have arriving, Um, I have Crazy Rich Asians arriving
Really,
on Monday.
really.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a big hit, Bill. I gotta watch. Are they going to be singing in Crazy Rich Asians? Is there
I
going to be
think they
some?
do. I
Well,
don't think
then,
it's a musical, but I think there's some songs in it.
well, there may have to be ejected. It may have to be ejected. Then I may give it a few minutes, but then I might have
Why
to.
you got to eject it just because it's about Asians?
No, how dare you? I also have maybe coming out this week, which I'm excited. Mission Impossible Fallout. I love the
That's
trailer,
out
and
this week.
oh yeah,
That's
December 4th,
fast.
bitches. Are you going to
There's
be
no.
watching it?
No, I'm not. I didn't like the first original Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise, so I haven't watched any of them since that. So
I don't know if you need to watch any of them to enjoy Mission Impossible
I
4.
feel like it's a series, and if I don't like one part, I can't like the others.
Okay. Also, Incredibles 2 is coming out this week.
I own it. It's been out already for a couple weeks on Blu-ray.
Did you
I hope that
upload
you
it? Did you upload it to the movies anywhere?
um, did I? Maybe I did not. I don't know.
You mother. Upload it, please.
I will upload it. It's fine. Relax.
And text me when you upload it here. I don't have to be wasting
Okay.
my DVD queue on movies that I own in the fucking cloud.
Okay. All right. Relax.
Also, The Nun is coming out.
Okay, that was a big hit. That's the Conjuring
Very,
people, right?
very scary. And The Happy Time Murders.
Oh,
with the
for God's sake, really? It's just a big old Blu-ray bonanza or DVD bonanza for you this week, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. It's huge.
Aren't you gonna? Did you decide to buy one of those DVD players?
I'm gonna put that on hold because we bought a whole bunch of other stuff for the house.
What did you buy?
So we bought some shiplap for the guest bedroom,
Right.
and some other wall art and some other crap. So,
Is this all getting ready for your house guests that are going to finally be invited into your?
well, this is part of things that were already on the list.
Okay.
I imagine the artwork is probably, and we bought something for the bathroom. So yeah, I imagine that's partly for the guests because otherwise, there's no need because we haven't even decided on colors of places. But I think she wants to push forward. And if I wasn't here, she'd have a lot of more shit done. But since we're a couple, we have to consult one another. So
And you
that's
just
what.
drag your feet
Do
on
you have to
shit.
consult people? I mean, you've been together for such a long time, married, and whatever else. Do you have consult each other, or who? How do you?
No, I have executive decisions on all artistic and creative choices.
Yeah. How did you get that power? And don't say the dick, please.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything about how I got it, but I'm just going to say that.
So you're the Julie the cruise director. You're the executive producer on
Creative choices.
Okay. So entertainment selections.
I've only been vetoed once in this household since we've lived here. And that is still a sticking point for me. And it's a point of contention in our relationship that I'm going to have to overcome at some point.
Okay. Well, I like your choices that you made around the place. Those are good choices.
The one choice, that big wall as you come into my apartment from in the hallway, that long hallway wall.
Yeah.
I wanted to put all of the Moulin Rouge posters on that wall and highlight them with like little light things and stuff, and I was vetoed. I still will have those posters yet.
So what do you have in the hallway then?
There's nothing on that wall. It's blank canvas, nothing. Because we can't decide. I want the Moulin Rouge posters and he doesn't. So
I have to admit, I have to go with Chris on this.
I don't know who you people think you are. It is a movie lover's house here. Okay.
I mean, he has a Star Wars thing in the main living room, right?
That was my. What do you mean he has? I put that there.
No.
And
he was cool with that, though. He's fine.
Yeah, because he also has Universal monster movie posters on the rest of the walls in that room. So it was a compromise, but it's fine. I like those movies too. So they reflect both of our tastes, those movies. But Star Wars, of course, is the main poster because it's the greatest movie of all time.
I could learn something from you. I guess that's the word of the day, compromise, huh? I don't really, I want to have some sort of totalitarian power. I want to be a autocrat.
You can't do that in a relationship. You can't have that. That's not how it works. Trust me, I want my Moulin Rouge posters, and it still makes me bitter that I don't have them.
Okay.
But these are the choices you make.
Did you give him a side eye for like 48 hours after he was like, I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea.
Try like 12 years. Yeah, he got side eye for 12 years. So
you're just like this. You know what? Nothing's going to go up on that wall. It's just going to be blank until the Moulin Rouge is up there. We're not going to put something else on there because we're just not going to. Does he walk past you like, Bill, I think we should probably put something on this wall. Everything else looks kind of bare. We should probably have something on here. And you're like, yep, we should. And then you just move on.
The decision was made when he was like, no Moulin Rouge posters. And I was like, fine, then we'll just leave it blank. And that's where we've been staying for the last 12 years. Here we are. So,
Oh, that's so funny. I can see myself doing the same thing. Are you gonna ever get on that? Yeah. Uh-huh. I'll get right on it. When I get my way, that's when I'll get on
right,
it. Also
right.
releasing, apparently there's a lot of movies coming out on December 4th. There's also Christopher Robin. Um,
Are you going to rent that this week?
oh, that's in my list. You also have Operation Finale. That's with your boy Oscar Isaac hunting down Eichmann.
Right,
That looks good. And you also have McQueen, the documentary about Alexander McQueen.
right.
So I put
The
that in
fashion
my
designer.
queue. What's that?
That's fashion. You know he's a fashion designer, right?
I do. I've watched the trailer and I also know the
Okay.
name.
All right.
So a lot of people wear his art, and so I saw the trailer for the documentary, and I saw that he committed suicide. I'm sure I knew about it, but I couldn't remember. And I don't mind. I think I'll watch it. Maybe I might learn something. Whatever else like that. Interesting.
How artsy
Uh,
of you. Okay.
what's that?
That's very artsy of you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it. I hope it's done well. But anyway, so there's a lot of movies coming out for December 4th. For the rest of December, now that we're at the queue, we also have your favorite actress Jennifer Garner coming out with Peppermint the week after that. Um,
Oh boy.
our boy Denzel in Equalizer 2. Love Denzel. Love the Equalizer
Well, you're
films.
just
And
going to
then
be in
you,
movie hog heaven this month, aren't you?
oh yeah, and then for December 18th, we have Venom dropping.
Right, which I'm going to probably buy the Blu-ray, so I would suggest that that will be in my queue. So,
Now wait a second. I'm thinking, Bill. We've coming down for December. Well, I don't want to put a
December
date out there because
21st.
people. I don't want people breaking into my house. Oh,
Really?
technically.
You're not going to
Oh,
be, you're not, because you're going to have someone staying at your house,
oh,
so.
actually, the woman will be home. Okay, all right. And she carries a gun. She carries a pump
Okay.
boss rifle, by the way. And my
All right.
dogs, even though one might be senile, they're German shepherds, trained to
Okay.
kill.
All
Okay.
right. So, anyway, December 18th.
So I'm thinking when we go see Aquaman, we're also going to go see the Spider Verse, which is
Right.
interesting. Okay, that's fine. But then maybe for the evening movie, we can watch Venom.
No, see, that's just not within our theme. The theme of the
It's not.
week is DC and Marvel. I guess Venom is a Marvel movie. But DC really should own the weekend because I was thinking we could watch Justice League because
I knew
Aquaman's
you were
in
going to
it.
say that. Absolutely fucking not. No way. Why do you want to put me in a position
Because
to
I'm
where you?
hoping maybe you will change your mind and you'll be like, oh, this isn't as bad as I remembered it.
Oh, you know what? That's always a possibility. You're absolutely right. There'll be something like, you know what, Bill, I really like that scene. That's a cool scene. And then I'll say that's a cool scene. It's not like I did not like some of the scenes in the movie. You know that. There's many cool
Yeah, but you shit on it
moments in that
general
film.
sweep.
One of them being especially when Superman comes out and he's whooping all their asses, which is what the Superman should have been doing in the other movies.
Right, but you can't hold Justice League responsible for the fact that he wasn't
I
doing
understand
that.
that, but I'm saying there's a lot of cool shit in the movies.
Yeah, there is. Not to mention Aquaman scene when he sticks this thing in the ground and like makes the water go all wonky.
Mhm. It's a good scene. Yeah,
Okay,
there's a lot
we'll
of good.
discuss it later.
Okay. Um,
I'll put Venom on. I
I
don't know
think
if I really
so.
want to sit through Venom again, to be honest with you.
What's that? You don't want to watch Venom? You don't want to?
I don't know if I really want to sit through it again this soon. I don't
I'm
know.
going to rip your head off, eat your arms, and shit down your throat.
And watch your head roll down the street like a turd in the wind. Oh, okay. Seems like a bit much, but okay.
Okay. If you make me watch Justice League,
Mhm.
then there's going to be some times where I look at you and roll my eyes and be like, see, this is why the movie failed. You're not going to want to hear that.
Yeah, but then there's always that scene with shirtless Henry Cavill where he's like throwing everybody around like puppets. That might make it worth it. Henry, Henry Cavill. Anyway,
So then the end of December ends with the White Boy Rick and and The Predator.
Really? Did you watch Black Klansman?
I did. It
You didn't really have a lot to say about it.
was a good film. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was a lot
Really?
of fun.
Okay.
I think Spike Lee. I gave it
Pretty
actually
fun.
4 stars in my Netflix thing. I really liked the movie.
Good. Okay.
And Spike Lee is more than a competent director. It's just sometimes you're just kind of like I feel like with some of these directors get caught up in doing certain things when I just want them to do like major, broad film projects, but yet they're always doing these artistic, social, political statement movies. You're just like,
Well, that's
oh,
what Spike Lee's whole career is built upon.
well, he did that movie. What is it like? With what's his name? Like Escaping from the Bank, Inside something maybe, Inside Job.
Right.
That wasn't all that. I mean, it was a good movie.
Yeah, but what he's known for, what's going to go on his epitaph or, going
Yeah,
to be mentioned in
sure,
his
you can do those, but
eulogy.
maybe in between doing the side Shia LaBeouf projects, why don't you do some sort of major movies or some sort of just general heist films or action films? I mean, I don't want to see like revisiting MLK, Malcolm X, the new version. Come on, let's you can do that. But either way, it was a lot of fun. The
Okay.
movie was interesting. It was cool, and um, I would recommend it to people.
Okay.
I don't think it's as what's the word preachy. Like I think with some of these things they come across as like preachy and it's going to weigh down heavy. It's really just about a black guy just infiltrating the Black Klansmen, and it kind of takes a humorous aspect, even though it delves upon some things that could be serious, obviously. But it was a lot of fun, no
Okay.
doubt. Um. Anyway, that's all I got, Bill. You got anything else to add here?
That's about it. I think we're at the hour and what, 45
So
minutes
I'm going to
mark?
be watching the Bad Reviews TV series on Night Flyers tonight. I'm going to watch it, and I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised.
I hope so too.
What are you going to do tonight?
We are going to watch probably another episode of Daredevil and Iron Fist because we caught up on Titans last night. So
Oh,
we are up to date on Titans.
really? I'm way behind. I'm probably around episode 4 or 5, maybe 5. I hear
Yeah.
that Starfire finally got her code name. Is that true?
Yes. And Donna Troy was introduced finally last night.
She wearing a costume or is she in a
She
birthday
is
suit?
not, which I have an issue with, but okay.
But I saw in the article that they're going to be putting her in the costume.
Well, going to be doing and having done are two different things.
Okay.
I need them to move it along.
Oh, this is perfect timing. My woman just arrived. I can hear the garage door opening. Let me ask you something. Are you enjoying the series? Are they saying too many fuckity fucks in there
There's
still?
too many fuckity fucks. Again, last night there were some fuckity fucks that I feel like they're just doing it because the only word they use, they don't use shit or bitch or anything else like that that they could actually use on a network show. The only curse word they overuse is the fuck. Like Robin's like, what's with this fucking dresser? This goddamn fucking dresser. Okay. We got it. You can say fucking a lot. And they do say it a lot. And it seems a little awkward. I need them to move the story along. It's not as bad as the Netflix Marvel shows, but it's not as good as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which at least moves the story along.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'm gonna have to add it up. Oh, if you find the password and username again,
I will.
text me so I can download the app on my phone so I can
I'll
try
have to
to
look for it. I'll look for it now.
Okay, and we can discuss it more thoroughly. Well, anyway, I guess this is perfect timing here. I got to go prepare my lunches for work, and
You
let's
do
just get,
that for the whole week?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
I kind of do at least for 3 days before then I excuse myself to just run out and get Chipotle or buy something else because
Okay.
I'm too lazy. Part of it is I just want to sit at my office and I don't like to leave.
Don't you have like people you can send out for stuff?
No, I'm not as powerful as I want to be in my own mind. But no, I can't.
Okay. Okay.
If I could send out for my lunch, I'd be probably abusing that process. I'd be like, you know what? I want you to fly to Spago's in California and bring me back a
Really?
spaghetti. Sure, it's piping hot when
Wow.
it gets.
Going
Uh,
around the corner to Chipotle is not really an option for you,
no, no, no.
for someone. Okay.
All right, Bill. Well, it's been fun. Um,
Absolutely.
and we'll probably do this again in another 2 weeks, I think.
You
Shout out
think?
to all our
All
fans.
right.
We haven't mentioned super fan Nadia or Melissa or Carlos. To
Carlos.
our listeners, appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you had a good Turkey Day. I've been your co-host Payne,
Absolutely. I'm Bill.
and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.